Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems that shape our world. Today, we're digging into one of the most successful belief systems out there, one that's packaged not as a doctrine, but as a simple story. Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Now, we're not here to review the book. We're here to unpack the powerful algorithm for belief that's coded inside it, to really understand how it works as a piece of cultural software on a massive, global scale.
And when I say massive, I mean it. Just look at the scale here. Over 20 million copies sold in more than 56 languages. Think about that. This isn't just a popular book. It's practically an operating system for living that's been installed worldwide. And its incredible reach is exactly why it's so important to understand the logic running under the hood. It has absolutely shaped how millions of people see their own lives.
And this is the source code. This one, single, elegant idea is the engine of the entire system. It's a profound promise, right? That your personal desires are perfectly aligned with the will of the cosmos. Everything else, and I mean everything else, in the book's logic, is built to support this one fundamental truth. So, let's get into it. How does this system actually work? Well, we can think of it as an operating system for your life, and it's all built around one core concept, the personal legend. Let's break down what that really means and how it ends up structuring a believer's entire reality.
So, your personal legend, it's not just a goal, or some ambition you have. The book defines it as your destiny, your unique mission on Earth. It's presented as this preordained path that comes from the soul of the universe. And what that does is it completely reframes your personal desires into a kind of sacred duty that you are now obligated to go out and fulfill.
And this is really our central point today. The personal legend isn't just a nice story idea. It's a functional system. It takes all the chaos and randomness of life and organizes everything. Who you are, the choices you make, the risks you take, and it arranges it all around this one, single, unshakable point on the map, your destiny. Okay, but why is this so appealing? What's the incentive to, install this operating system in your own head? Well, the answer comes down to some incredibly powerful psychological rewards.
First, it brings order to a world that so often feels completely random. It whispers that everything, good or bad, happens for a reason. Second, it's an infinite source of hope. No matter how tough things get, you can believe the universe is secretly on your team. And maybe the most powerful reward of all, it validates you. It tells you that your life isn't just a random series of events, it's a heroic story with actual cosmic significance.
And this quote just perfectly captures that validation incentive. It elevates your own personal happiness into a cosmic necessity. Fulfilling your dreams isn't selfish anymore. It's your only real obligation because you're literally feeding the soul of the world. Your individual quest suddenly becomes essential for the entire universe. Talk about raising the stakes.
So, if you've bought into this idea of a destined path, how does the system actually handle the stuff that happens to you every day? Well, it gives you this powerful tool for reframing reality, for turning what looks like total randomness into an intentional design.
Here's how that works in practice. Suddenly, nothing is just neutral. You get robbed? That's not just bad luck. No, that's a test of your will. You meet a stranger? That wasn't a coincidence. That was a guide sent by the universe. Every single event, whether it feels good or bad, gets reinterpreted as an omen, a little signpost pointing you back toward your destiny. So here's the metaphor we can use. The system acts like a magical compass. No matter what happens, no matter how lost you feel or how difficult the journey gets, that needle will always swing back up and point the exact same direction, toward your personal legend. It's an unbreakable tool for navigation.
But here it is, the ultimate test for any belief system. What happens when things go completely, horribly wrong? How does his framework deal with failure, with suffering, with all the things that seem to contradict its core promise, without just falling apart?
It's the obvious question, isn't it? If the entire universe is supposed to be helping me out, why is this so hard? Why am I failing? Well, the system has a very, very clever, self-reinforcing answer for that. And the answer is this. Failure isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature. Setbacks are not evidence that the universe has abandoned you or that you're on the wrong path. No, they are a necessary, integral part of the process itself. And this is where we encounter a true crisis in perception. That inspirational message of resilience, fall 7 times, get up 8. It's so powerful that it actually hides the underlying structural job it's doing. And that job is to take any piece of evidence that contradicts the system, any failure,
and brilliantly recast it as proof that you are in fact on the right path.
Let's look at how it does that. Failure gets reframed as a test, suffering becomes proof that you're in the good fight, and every time you manage to overcome one of these obstacles, you get this amazing hit of euphoria and confidence, which just reinforces your belief in the system. It creates this perfect feedback loop where even the worst things that happen can end up strengthening your conviction.
All right, finally, let's zoom all the way out. Because this intensely personal belief system, it doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It actually plugs right into and reinforces some of the biggest cultural and economic systems of our time.
I mean, the story of a lone individual pursuing their unique destiny against all odds, guided only by their own belief, that story is everywhere, right? The personal legend framework basically provides a spiritual blueprint for a very modern, individualistic ideology. Just think about how well it maps onto other areas. At the individual level, you have your personal legend. At the cultural level, it's the myth of the startup founder, risking it all for a vision. And at the economic level, it's the logic of hustle culture and self-optimization, where it's all on you to succeed. The story is always the same. Believe in yourself, push through the pain, and you'll realize your destiny.
And here's the final outcome of all this. By focusing so intensely on individual belief and cosmic destiny, the framework can make all those bigger, systemic forces, things like economic inequality, social barriers, or even just pure dumb luck, seem way less important. In this worldview, your personal belief isn't just one factor among many. It becomes the primary engine of reality itself. Crisis in Perception examines how systems shape belief and how better tools help us see clearly. This project is free and publicly accessible. If you'd like to support the time, tools, and research behind Crisis in Perception, you can become a supporter on Patreon. For a longer, audio-based analysis of this topic, see the deep dive linked in the description. If you enjoy this kind of systems-level analysis, please like, subscribe, and comment with books or topics you'd like us to explore next.